As a creation of the late Tobin Wolfe, everyone is well versed with the character of Lion-O, who happens to be the main superhero protagonist of the celebrated Thundercats franchise. As the hereditary lord of the Thundercats, Lion-O wields the legendary Sword of Omens, which, if we may add, happens to be the most powerful weapon. It gives its wielder, and in this case Lion-O, the power of sight beyond sight, amongst a horde of other abilities. But today's video isn't about Lion-O in particular, and as the title suggests, it is primarily about exploring Lion-O's family tree for that matter. You think you know everything about Lion-O's family? Well, let's find that out, shall we? But before we get into our explanation, we do have one very small request. If you enjoy our content, then please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Now, let's begin. Leo, ancestor. Often addressed as the original Lord of the Thundercats, Leo happened to be the ancestor of both Lion-O as well as Claus. Now, it should not come as a surprise to you at all when we tell you that Leo was also the commander of Mumm-Ra's armies, especially during the Undead Galactic Warlord's tyrannical reign. Of course, Leo was exceedingly devoted to Mumm-Ra and was of the firm opinion that the latter was simply spreading order all throughout the galaxy. So one can imagine Leo's horror when he witnessed his master simply wipe out a solar system that supported 3 life-bearing planets, only because Mumm-Ra wanted to forge the Sword of Thundera from its remains. With Leo realizing how nefarious Mumm-Ra was in reality, and seeing right through his insatiable lust for power, and let's not disregard his complete ruthlessness, Leo joined forces with his second-in-command, Thundera, to overthrow the tyrant. Mumm-Ra's 2 most trusted commanders are next seen gathering the remaining one left behind from the creation of the Sword of Thundera to forge the Sword of Omens, along with the Gauntlet of Omens. Well, it's only fitting to state that Leo was effectively able to defeat Mumm-Ra, despite the latter possessing 3 Power Stones, post which he also became the founder of the nation-state Thundera. Boasting a slender build similar to Lion-O, Leo's hair and sideburns were longer than Lion-O, which simply pointed at the fact that Leo was older than Lion-O when he led the rebellion against Mumm-Ra. An exceedingly powerful, skilled, and agile warrior, Leo was an outstanding military strategist and tactician given his years of service as a commander under Mumm-Ra. Also, Leo was an extraordinary swordsman, totally capable of utilizing the full extent of the highly powerful armor of Omens. But much like his descendant, Leo was also shown to be quite impulsive at times. He was often seen acting out of anger and emotion before analyzing the gravity of a situation.
Where is that boy, Jaga?
Be easy on him, Claus.
Claus, father. Truth be told, Claus was perhaps one of the most renowned Thundercats of all time besides Jaga the Wise. Often addressed as the previous lord of the Thundercats, Claus ruled Thundera with a fierce heart up until the homeworld's destruction, and he lost his sight while battling against the mutants of Thundera. Personality-wise, Claus was both imposing as well as a beloved ruler. He did not show the slightest ounce of mercy to his enemies, and it's only fair to admit that the cats did thrive under the rule of Claus. As a father, Claus was quite stern, especially towards Lion-O, and often wished that his biological son would be a lot more like his adopted son, Tigra, with whom he maintained a rather close and affectionate relationship. Claus openly had on display how he would favor Tigra over Lion-O occasionally, so much so that he would even let Tigra sit next to him during the games, while Lion-O would be seen sitting at a distance from his father. Claus did not have a favorable opinion when it came down to Lion-O's fascination towards technology. He was often seen questioning his son's judgment. He did not approve Lion-O taking his duties as a future king lightly. And let's dare not disregard Lion-O's fondness for animals outside his species, which Claus particularly did not really admire. But in the end, there is no denying that Claus did love Lion-O dearly, and there are no 2 ways about it. Leona, mother. As the Queen of Thundera, Leona ruled alongside her husband Claus. While it is true that we do not know much information about Leona, But what is known for sure is that she literally held Tigra as a blessing from the gods and took him as her own, raising him with utmost love and affection. Leona seemed to be a woman of immense faith because she considered both her sons Tigra and Lion as blessings when they came into her life. Of course, it is a different thing that she died while giving birth to Lion, most likely from complications that haven't clearly been stated. Leona maintained a very close bond with his adopted son, Tigra, and always thought of the time when he would become a prince and heir to the throne, and that's what made her give Tigra the title Prince of Thundera. However, when she discovered that she was pregnant with Lion, she was overjoyed, but then also quite sad to realize that she would no longer address Tigra as a little prince, nor could she ever assume the throne given his non-biological lineage. Leona symbolized the best of what it meant to be a mother. Her sympathetic and charitable nature reflected in Lion, the latter having inherited his mother's attributes. Those who remember Leona will certainly recall her lithe and slender frame, her exceedingly kind and pretty face, which did bear resemblance with Lion to a great extent, and that diamond tiara on her head. Tigra, adoptive elder brother. Besides King Claus and Queen Leona's non-biological son, and add to this their elder adoptive brother of Lion, Tigra also happens to be the council leader of the Thundercats. Lion is often seen turning to his staunch, level-headed warrior brother for counseling purposes. Right from being accountable for the design of most of the Thundercat structures on Third Earth, such as the Cat's Lair and the Tower of Omens, Tigra is also responsible for coming up with the devices the Thundercats resorted to while exploring New Thundera. Besides being blessed with the ability to create lifelike illusions in the minds of other people, to rendering himself invisible to the naked eye, and being armed with a large bolo whip, Tigra is both an expert unarmed combatant and swordsman. That's not all. He is also a highly trained military strategist, having studied specifically under King Claus. And when it comes to his style of command, it is mostly blunt and forceful. Personality-wise, Tigra is shown to be someone who often claims to be right about everything. Naturally, this makes him both cocky as well as arrogant, but with time, he has become a lot grounded and calm. Tigra, in the past, has also exhibited certain feelings of jealousy and resentment towards Lion, having felt that he would do a better job as a king than his brother. Of course, he has matured with time and has been seen obeying the orders of his brother without any form of disrespect. Oh, and in case we haven't mentioned this before, Tigra is very loyal to his family no matter what. And last, but not the least, he comes with a fair share of weaknesses too. He's vulnerable when it comes to addiction and cannot really swim unless he is invisible. Marvelous verdict. With this, we finally come to the end of our video here. So what do you think of Lion's family tree? Who's your favorite among the ones we have mentioned? We would love to know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Now, if you enjoy our videos, you know what to do. Please do leave a thumbs up and stay tuned with us as we promise to come back with more exciting content. Till then, goodbye, and thanks for watching. Have a nice one.